in December of 1965. I enlisted in the Marine Corps and got orders to Vietnam in October of '67. On the 4th of December of '67 was blown up by a landmine, at which time I lost total vision. My name is Tom Miller. I'm the Executive Director of the Blind Veterans Association, headquartered here in Washington, D.C. Really the essence of what BVA is an organization of blind veterans assisting other blind veterans, particularly those who are newly blinded.
I'm Sergeant First Class Jeffrey Minton. I was injured in Baghdad on July 7th, 2005 at an IED flying into my vehicle. It knocked me unconscious, blew off my nose, my lips, most of my teeth, destroyed my left eye and damaged my right. So now I only see peripherally out of the right eye.
The Blind Veterans Association was organized in 1945 by approximately 100 war-blind veterans from World War II. Our field service representatives have experienced blindness, and their responsibilities is to assist blind veterans and their family in obtaining all the benefits they're entitled to. And they serve as role models. These are folks that have experienced blindness themselves, the rehabilitation process, and are living, breathing examples of individuals who have been able to cope with, adjust to, and overcome the disability associated with visual impairment and blindness, and can show them that one can lead meaningful and productive lives despite their vision loss. And what we're finding with the service members coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan, that they have multiple disabilities, multiple injuries. Quite often, blindness may be the least of their problems.
I've been at Walter Reed for the last 2 years recovering. I've had approximately 20 surgeries to reconstruct my hand, my face, and of course immediate life-saving measures I took immediately after my injuries. I think I accepted it immediately, personally. I think when I woke up, I was in coma for about 30 days. And when I woke up, I realized, all right, you really got hurt this time.
The soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan uniquely have had the benefits of, number one, very good protective arm around the head and around the neck, so that the penetrating objects now come into the face and cause secondary injuries to the brain and secondary injuries to the eye. There may be direct eye injuries, but what we've seen is that the brain is injured secondarily to these big facial injuries, what we call traumatic brain injury, TBIs, and the eyes, because they are an extension of the brain, secondarily are involved.
A lot of folks, they lose their vision and they can't imagine. I know when I was in the hospital recuperating, I was creating kind of a mental checklist of all the things I'd never be able to do again, and couldn't quite imagine what would I be able to do. How was I going to take care of my family? And there's many, many things that I thought I wouldn't be able to do that I can do. I've learned other ways of managing day-to-day functions that before thought one could only do with vision. Hopefully many of the newly blinded service members will in fact join BVA and gain a great deal of confidence from that experience and move on to very enjoyable and satisfying lives.
The veterans tend to be forgotten after they come home from their service. This was true in the Civil War, it was true in World War I, to great dramatic unhappiness for the veterans and for the American citizens. Now, with the strengthening of the Veterans Administration itself and a tremendous sympathetic group like the BVA, things come out and are more, shall I say, friendly to the veteran. The veteran is a hero during the time of war, and then he is forgotten. unfortunately, in the post-war era.
I think my contact with the BVA actually motivated me to go to the blind center. You see other blinded veterans who are functioning in society, who are productive members of society, and it motivates you to strive for that, for yourself and for your family. So when you see them, you realize, well, you know, he's moved around freely, travels across the country by himself. Well, how did he learn how to do that? Well, he learned it through the blind rehabilitation centers, through education. And I think it's an example they set for the blinded veteran. And to me, that's what they've done for me, is, you know, made me focus on what I need to do to achieve success.
As long as the war continues, we'll continue to bring these newly blinded service members to our convention to get them plugged in and help them through the adjustment process and the frustrations that they're experiencing as a newly blinded person. The sacrifices that we've made in defense of our own country and to provide opportunities for others around the world to enjoy some of the liberties and freedoms that we enjoy is paramount, and we want to preserve that value system. I guess it's always more difficult when a war is unpopular, as it was in Vietnam and as it's becoming in Iraq and Afghanistan.
There is no question, when I've talked to the veterans that I've been able to interview and see over the years, yes, they felt that whatever happened to them, it was for the greater good. I doubt if they would like to repeat the traumatic event, but these were the sad statistics. They're just the way the dice was rolled.
Oftentimes they say, if you had things to do over, would you do them the same? And I would. Even knowing how things turned out, I still would have gone in the Marine Corps and served.
Listen, when you go to war, and especially if you're a career soldier like I was, or am, the threat of death or injury is always there. Now, if I was to go to war and I believe in the cause and I go, and then I was to be injured and I come back bitter, it makes no sense to me why I would do that. If I believed in the cause prior to my injuries, I believe in the cause afterwards. I believed going in that it's worth what I was doing, and just because I was injured does not change that fact that it wasn't a worthy cause, because it was. So I wholeheartedly believe that what I've done was worth what I've gone through, or the reason for going was worth what the price I've had to pay.